Today I'm a long way from my allotment in Kent. I've travelled up here to the beautiful island of Anglesey to meet some allotmenteers who face similar challenges to me because of their location. The allotment holders here in the town of Beaumaris have plots situated right on the coast. Growing plants and produce here comes with its positives and its negatives. So I'm keen to speak to the growers and get any tips I can to help me on my allotment back home. The Beaumaris allotments have been going for more than 100 years. And the community spirit is as strong as ever. The members range from lifeboat volunteers and soil scientists to historians, children's groups, and winemakers. Yes, you heard me right. They make wine on these allotments. And that's in no small part thanks to the coastal location. Kevin Anker has been growing vines on his plot for 15 years. What makes this place so great to grow grapes?
Well, I can't think of a better place to have for views and all the rest of it, but in terms of growing grapes, we have something of a microclimate. I think we get protection from the mountains to a degree, and our grapevines do quite well.
And the wind is quite a factor here, so does that affect your grapes?
We've had a lot of problems with the posts going, and I've had to replace, you can see the new ones through there and these through here. So all of those were caused by wind damage. When it's in full leaf, it's like a sail, and everything just gets pushed over. These then will take the brunt of it because it's this direction predominantly. So they're protecting the whites, and they tend to give me a better crop.
OK, so this is almost like a sacrificial wind barrier.
Almost.
On the red grapes to protect the white grape. And what's the cultivar of the white grape?
That's a Céval Blanc, and it's very easy to keep. It's disease resistant, very vigorous growth, and a good cropper.
Well, I only have 2 grapes on my allotment, but this inspires me to get more. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Would you like some cuttings?
Oh, do you have some?
I have some down here.
I love the idea of growing vines on my allotment, and now I've got a couple more to grow. I can't wait to taste Kevin's wine. Take care. The microclimate of a coastal allotment or garden is definitely one of the big pluses. Not only can you get growing and planting earlier in the year, but you're also much less likely to get a big frost. But seaside gardening is not all plain sailing, and one of the biggest challenges for a site like this is the wind. Like most of the plot holders here, Chrissy Newsham is well used to battling the breeze on this exposed site. It's a beautiful spot here, Chrissy, but I imagine the wind whistles in a bit.
Well, we get these wonderful southwesterlies that come streaming up the Menai Strait, cause mayhem on the allotments. So everything has to be staked.
Everything is staked?
Yes, everything has to be staked. Things get wind-scorched as well. One year I lost all my autumn potatoes, completely wind-scorched.
All of them?
Yes, all of them.
Such a shame.
Yep.
So I see you've got some tunnels. Is that the way that you combat the wind to get the best out of your crop?
I did a bit of an experiment this winter. Plastic one, fleecy one, and there's a netting one. And the only one that survived was the netting one.
Interesting. So I'm presuming that there's enough holes for the wind to actually travel through it, but yet it offers protection as well. OK, well, that's good to know. Windbreaks are most effective when they filter the wind and reduce its strength. Mixed hedges like these make a great natural defence. Just across the hill is Ian Thorpe's patch. And he has a brilliant way of fertilising his plants using something that's right on his seaside doorstep. Ian uses seaweed to add valuable nutrients to his soil. And Ian is someone who should know just how beneficial that is, because he also happens to be a soil scientist. Ian, that's a very healthy pile of seaweed you have there. Where did you get this all from?
This is all from a pebble shore. When it's on a sand beach, the birds use it and turn it over and eat the sandhoppers. On the pebble beach, it tends to dry out much faster, isn't used by the birds, and so you're not taking a valuable resource away from them.
And how are you using it on your plot?
Well, I use it as a mulch to suppress weeds. I use it in trenches, like with runner beans, and I use it with the potatoes. So it helps plant growth, bud growth, and flavour. It has lots of chemicals called alganates, which help bond the soil together.
They're the sort of gelatinous
Yeah,
parts,
like agar gel. And then it does partially feed the soil. It has high nitrogen, some potassium, and very little phosphorus.
Okay.
So it's very good at promoting vigorous plants that are disease resistant.
And does the salt kind of affect the growth of the plants underneath?
Well, it would do, but it tends to leach out in about 2 days normally in Wales.
Really? That's so fast?
Because it rains so much.
Do you need permission to collect it?
If it's washed up, that's fine, you know, at high tide.
Right.
As long as it's not low down the shore and still attached and alive, it's fine. And as long as you're not doing it commercially, it's fine.
And do you ever worry about pollutants and things?
Yeah, you can have an issue with plastics.
Right.
Discarded fishing wire, but as it breaks down, I collect all these up and dispose of them. And so you're doing a job of clearing the beach of marine plastics.
That's amazing.
All helps.
Well, it certainly makes me think I'm going to go out, and I've wanted to do this for years, so it's given me the inspiration I need to go and do this. I love this kind of information. It brings out my inner geek. It's natural and sustainable, and something I would love to try back home. One thing to remember, if you're lucky enough to live near a beach to collect some yourself, then do check with the landowner or local council before taking anything for your own garden. If you'd like further information about the do's and don'ts of collecting seaweed, then go to our website. Now my time at Beaumaris is nearly at an end, but there is one more thing I need to do before I go. I couldn't possibly leave without a small glass of Beaumaris Allotment wine. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Well, it's been very inspiring coming here, and I've learned so much about coastal allotmenting, so thank you for having me. Now let's have a taste of this. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, that's really dry. That's lovely. Thank you very much. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.